Hey family, sorry it's been so long since I've been on. I'm bad sick. Got sick from my son. My throat hurts really bad, but there's a couple of things I wanted to tell y'all. Um, I just feel really led in my heart, my spirit, to try to encourage some of my most precious brothers and sisters who's just barely hanging on. I know, like, my closest, most precious sister in Christ, my moderator here, Paulette, I just love her to pieces. You know, she's one of my dearest, closest, best friends. And she's just so weary, guys. Please pray for her. And she's going through that lab work. She's 74. She's been watching for our Jesus for 50 years, guys. Can you imagine? You know, she's seen people come and go and die that said the Lord was coming decades ago, you know. And she's so weary, guys, but she's so beautiful inside and out, and I love her so much. And I've had the incredible experience to be able to meet some of the best brothers and sisters lately in these last few months. But guys, it just really weighs on my heart how many people are just at the end of their rope. And if I wasn't so busy and distracted with these cares of this life, and not in the way that I want to be, trust me, like my car on its last leg, about to break down, and then, you know, having issues with my husband and us having a divorce and going our separate ways, me starting over from scratch at 41 like I'm 18 or something. Guys, these aren't things I'm certainly wanting to do, but like I said in one of my last videos, it's like an old country song, and it's just one thing after another. And like my brother Bill said, we're supposed to count these things all joy when we suffer these things for Jesus. I don't think we'd be suffering the capacity we are. Like he said, if your name ain't written in the book of life, I mean, it's almost laughable anymore. But I wanted to this will be a short video, but I just felt so led, even with me as sick as I am, to come on here and try to give y'all a little bit of encouragement to just please hang on. You know, the Lord's just, you know, the things I share, guys, the little things here and there. And, you know, I try, like I told Paulette, I try not to say the Lord told me this. I always try to purposely say this is what happened, and I think the Lord is showing me this or that. But a couple of days ago when I was talking to the Lord, this has been dropping down in my spirit for the last couple of days, where he was telling me, you know, to he's been telling me for years now, keep your eyes on me and not the storm. And guys, we could be gone any day, but we also could be here, you know, longer than we're thinking. We have been so far, haven't we? And I don't tell you anybody that to distress you or not to be encouraging, because I don't know, guys. I believe it's any time. Anybody that watches my channel would certainly know I think it's any time. But there's also a chance, realistically, that we might be here longer than we think. And I'm not talking about years, because I don't think it's that. But, you know, everybody, it's just like months keep coming and going, and we just think it's this and these signs are there, guys. I'm not saying that, but I say all this to say that we've got to keep our eyes on Jesus. We've got to, no matter what we go through. Lord, please don't let me lose my voice. But there's two stories in the Gospels. It's about Jesus calming the storm, right? And if y'all look real close, you can take a screenshot or whatever you need to do. It's in Luke, Matthew, can't even hardly see through this. Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Okay, so the calm the storm, and also a very similar story of the miracle of Jesus walking on the water, So read those, because it's Matthew, Mark, and John in that one. There's, if you compare the King James Version at least, there's, to me, differences in these, and how do I say this without sounding wrong? So, both times, guys, it was a test of the disciples, the church, also having faith in him, like Jesus would say these times, ye of little faith, why do you doubt? And I tell myself that. I'm not being hypocritical here. I've been there, guys. Like, it's hard during hard times to keep your eyes fixated on Jesus and not the craziness going on all around you, right? So I'm the same way. I mean, it's been bad. I mean, like I said, like a country song gone wrong. My old dog's dying, going through a divorce after 20 years, having to move, the car breaking down, my son's sick, it's one thing. Now I'm sick, one thing after another, but y'all see that, thanks to y'all, the church, thanks to the Holy Spirit, thanks to Jesus, he's doing what he's doing here with this GoFundMe. I mean, I did not want to open it, guys. I've never asked for I don't even monetize my channel. If I was even going to make $10 a month for posting videos, with me being on Social Security disability, I'd monetize because YouTube's already doing it, but I don't feel it's right. So I felt that it wasn't right to ask for GoFundMe money to help me, get a car, or help me move at 41 because I'm leaving my husband, for being abusive and all this worldly mess. And I would love nothing more than Jesus to come. But guys, I just wanted to say, God does provide. I never in 1,000 years thought he'd provide like he has. And every time he shows off like this dramatically, that's how I came back to the Lord, guys, is I got in a bad car wreck and it totaled my car, and they told me they were trying to pin it on me because I was in a school zone, and a girl hit me, texting and driving, a very young girl speeding through the school zone. She was texting, and in the state of Florida, they were going to deem it my fault because I was stuck out in traffic like you are in school zones. And they did. And they wasn't going to pay for my car or anything, even though she told, by hitting me, I was stuck. I was in between two cars like dominoes that was also in the road. And it just really messed everything up. But the Lord worked that out so that it would bring me to him. And with me surrendering to the Lord, and I've shared my testimony before in writing and video, how I came to the Lord that way. My voice sounds so terrible, y'all. I hope you can hear me. But the very day after I got on my knees crying and praying and begging God to please help me, because it was an impossible situation, the very next day I had a check for like $3,600 in the mail. This was back in November of 2019 to get the car I've got now. Back then cars were very cheap. Now they're crazy expensive. I can't even find a car under $7,000 nowadays. So at least here in Florida you can. Insurance is crazy high in Florida. Used cars are everywhere because nobody's buying new anymore with the economy like it is what these car lots are telling me. But anyway, I don't want to make this too long. I just wanted to thank everybody who's prayed for me all this time, who's donated. And it don't matter, guys, if you have donated to me, if you're praying, that means the world to me. but it really touches my heart for anybody that would help me, because there's, who am I, who am I to even ask, much less y'all help me. And, I pray Jesus wouldn't let the first dollar hit that GoFundMe if it wasn't his will, if that's not the way he wanted to help me, and I didn't know what else to do. And, it makes me embarrassed and ashamed that I've even asked or anything, but I'd much rather the Lord come today than have to move or buy cars or anything else, guys. But right now it's a very, very terrible, miserable situation that I've got to do because I'm still living on planet Earth. I have to do it. So, anyway, excuse me. Anyway, I wanted to share a couple more signs before I cut this video off that I feel the Lord's been giving me in these last few days, that I hope encourages you, brothers and sisters, because he really is coming, guys. I don't know when, but I know it has to be soon. And every time I ask him, every time I go to him, and just, we should all cut the YouTube off and just go to him, guys. That's what I was telling Paulette. Going and watching other brothers and sisters or YouTube, it's an easy fix, but you have all these contrary voices within each other, right? This person saying 2024, this person saying now, this person saying 2026 or 27, and it's like you're being pulled. Sorry guys, my alarm went off and it cut the phone off, the video, so I'll try to wrap this up real quick. So, guys, I watch my Wednesdays, and this coming Wednesday is the 4th during Sukkot, that's tabernacles, and on the Tishri, the first month, it's still the first month on the Jewish calendar, and summer, by the way, guys. It's Tishri 19 this coming Wednesday, and they're doing that weird national alert thing. I've heard some channels saying just turn your phone off. I probably will too, because I don't trust the government. So yeah, it's gonna be, I think it said at Central Time 1:20 or either 2:20. So I might turn my phone off at like 1:15 to 1:25, and also 2:15 to 2:25, just in case. At TVs and radios too. I don't know. I don't trust them. I don't know what they got planned. But anyway, the 4 thing. So guys, back on July 2nd, 2021, one of the first visions the Lord ever showed, well, I feel the Lord ever showed me, was a 4 written storm clouds. So this is just an illustration I did. It's like storm clouds, and what he did, he wrote in the clouds a 4, kind of like if the clouds are being moved, like chemtrails or something. So that's what he did. I don't know if this does mean the 4th, but it's worth noting. I do know 4 means Dalit and all kinds of stuff. So, like, I know a lot about the 4, but it's coincidental that, it's also the 4th, or it could be the 4th that something happens. I'm just saying that that's interesting to me. I was coming home the other day and got stuck behind this bus going all the way home. I've drove this road. This is my back street home. I mean, for 7 years, I've never seen a city bus on this road. So I looked up the number. It's 1459. So 1459 means to leave behind in a good sense, like in a good way. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was one thing. I wasn't going to share this because you're not supposed to let your left hand know what your right's doing when you give, but I wanted to share it just because I believe the Lord confirmed something in a message this way. So I know I told y'all I wanted to tithe 10% of that back to the church, back to the Lord, by any funds I raised. So the very first thing I did the other day was give a sister $500 that's hurting tremendously. She's someone who's been commenting on my page. I reached out to like 2 or 3 or 4 people, and she's the only one that wrote back about helping them. So I helped her, and I sent her $500. I wouldn't tell y'all this other than saying that, I tithe the 10%. But look at the time. I believe this was the Lord showing me a message through this, that I did the right thing by tithing it, So, and to her also, because I was praying about what he wanted me to give who. So we tried all day to get PayPal to work and Cash App to work, everything like that, and it would not work, guys. And I mean, this went to a very good cause. So so at 4:24 was when it finally went through. So I just felt a leading in my spirit to look up 4:24 when I was looking back over my email, and it means to go up. I thought that was really cool, and confirmation, that was something really cool. So if y'all can pray for her. Her name is Frances Larson. She's on Social Security. She's really going through a hard time. She does a lot to help people and even animals and stuff like that. So guys, please keep her in your prayers. She's a sister that's posted here for a very long time. I called her on the phone and talked to her and everything. Her name's Arlene. She goes by Arlene. That's her middle name, I think. Or either she said Frances is, but her name's Arlene. If you could please pray for her and Paulette, guys, please. And this is already getting so crazy long, so there's so much I wanted to tell y'all. The other day, I'll tell y'all real quick. So I was passing. Well, I went to this red light, and I wasn't passing him. I pulled up to him. And here in Pensacola, there's like homeless people on every corner or whatever. And when I first moved down here, I'd give them like $1 or $2, and my husband would be like, "You can't give these people, there's, money, our money, because they're on every corner." So I stopped, but this guy just really touched my heart. He was an elderly man in a wheelchair. And his sign said something about God. I wasn't trying to stare at him or whatever, but I was right beside him. So I looked over there, and my heart was just hurting for him, like he was all busted up and in a wheelchair and really old, like he had sores and stuff you could see, like busted up knees and stuff. So I just felt that leading, that pulling in my spirit, and my car was on its last legs and shaking and bouncing, and I didn't even know if I'd be able to make it home. And I got to as I drove off, he just kind of smiled at me and nodded, like, because I looked over there and kind of smiled and nodded as I drove off. And when I went to pass, I just couldn't, guys, and I turned right, and I swung back in to the parking lot behind him, and I came up behind him, and I don't know what came over me, guys. It was completely not me, because I'm super shy. I don't talk to strangers. I'm so awkward around strangers. But I came up behind him, and he said, "Hey, it's you." And I said, "Hey." I said, and then, like, I guess the Lord just started talking through me, because I'm so shy. And I handed him a $10 bill in my hand, because that's all I had. And the first thing that came out of my mouth, guys, I've never done this, is I said, "Do you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am." And I said, "Can I pray for you?" Like, I'm getting goosebumps now, because it all just came flooding out of my mouth. And he took off his hat, which I found very touching, so we could pray. And I took his hand, and his hand was all swollen and beat up, and I don't know if it's from pushing the wheelchair down the road or what, but I've never done that. And I got on my knees right there beside his wheelchair, right there at that red light, and was praying for him and the healing and for his family and everything. It was just a quick prayer, and I got up to leave, and I didn't even ask him his name or nothing. I've never done that, guys. I was just going to hand him the $10 bill and run back to my car, and I don't know what came over me, and about, like, do you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ? Can I pray for you? Like, that I wasn't planning that. And he said, hey, as I was walking off, and I said, yeah. And he says, my name is Dominic. And I had to ask him a couple times what he said. And, you know, I told him my name's Rebecca. But I just felt so good, guys, afterwards, for being able to talk to him and pray for him. And, like, God really wanted that. Anyway, it was just, my son wouldn't believe in it. He was like, wow, you know, like, what came over you? And I'm like, I don't know, because I've never done that. And if my husband would have known, he would have freaked out, you know. I don't care. But I looked up the name Dominic, and it means of the Lord. It means lordly or belonging to the Lord, of the Lord. So, you know what I thought of? I think it's in Hebrews. I don't know where, I'm too sick to think, but where it says, you never know when you're entertaining angels. And I'm not saying he is an angel, but wouldn't that be cool, you know? But I just wanted to share some things with y'all, guys. There's so much more, but I'm so sick, and I just want to thank y'all for whoever's donated or prayed, and whatever, you know, funds I raise will be whatever funds I have to, you know, do all that stuff I gotta do, and God willing, it'll happen. And if not, he could come today and get me out of this situation and get you out of yours, you know. I love y'all, and I just wanted to encourage y'all while I still had a little bit of voice left. And I love y'all so much. And whatever God's got planned, guys, it's good. It's what's supposed to happen. We've got to trust him. We've got to trust him even when the water is sloshing and the boat is being filled with water and we're freaking out. And there's sirens again. Every time I make a video. I don't even know what I was saying at the time. We've got to trust the Lord, guys. We've got to trust him in the storm, in the hard times, because he will provide just like he is with this. And it just makes me love him more and more, because even when I don't think it's possible, he shows me it is possible. And all things are possible through those that love him. All things are possible through God, but what was I trying to say? All things are possible. I tried looking up the verse. Sorry, guys, this will have to be highly edited, I guess, or spliced together, but I tried looking up the verse, but I don't know what I was thinking right off the top of my head. But through God, all things are possible, guys. We just gotta trust him. But I probably shouldn't make a video when I'm running a fever and not feeling good, but I wanted to encourage y'all, because he really is coming, and we just need to trust him that he's made these plans since the beginning of time, you know, and even when the boat's rocking, you know. Anyway, guys, I love you so much, and thank you for all who's helped and who's even praying, and for those that watch my videos and comment. You know, I recognize all the regular names that do. Y'all are my family. Y'all are my brothers and sisters. You know, I don't have a family, but y'all are my family, and we'll get to see each other soon. And we've got one Father who's all of our Father, and we'll be meeting him soon and each other soon. So we just gotta hang on and trust him, that even when things don't look like they make sense, or, you know, that we still trust him. I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all soon, and hopefully my next video will be more thought out and better prepared. I'm sorry, guys. I just kind of freestyled this one to cheer y'all up. And I'll leave the link to the description, to the GoFundMe in the description if you do want to donate. But I'm about to close it soon. So, wanted to tell you. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.